Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims proudly presents the ALTNFL 1970 season. And tonight, it's the Buffalo Bills traveling cross country to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Hello out there, everybody. This is Big Paulie coming to you. Yes, if I sound a little different, I'm trying to hear myself in my headphones when I speak. Just trying something a little different. It'll give me like a little speaker effect, like I'm your PA announcer for tonight. I figured that would come in if you like to see if this works or not, or if it's distracting or what have you. So tonight it's Buffalo and San Francisco. Buffalo with that very odd, by today's standards, 2-2-2 record, and San Francisco 4-2, part of the tie on top the Western Division with not with San Francisco, because San Francisco's playing Dallas and San Diego. And just before I started to roll film or roll file or roll tape or whatever you want to call it these days, everybody's rosters is up to 40. So if anybody got injured the prior week and I didn't catch it, the computer caught it. Okay, not doing San Diego and Oakland. Why would I think I was doing that? Okay, Buffalo and San Francisco. We're off. 70 degrees. A light rain at Kezar Stadium. Might be our only trip ever to Kezar Stadium. And both teams will be controlled by me, but the defenses will be controlled by the computer. And off we go. Both teams have the 40-player complement. Dennis Shaw against some guy named John Brody, and no O.J. Simpson in the lineup for Buffalo, I see. So we will do a little digging on that before our game starts. The juice is not loose. Simpson is out for 2 weeks with a back injury. Okay, so Tucker, Thomas, Taylor are the possible kickoff returnees. And our kicker is, well, we'll find out in a minute. I think it's Gogolak, one of the Gogolak boys. And we're underway. We have a new patch to Action PC 25, by the way. And this return past the 25, past the 30 to the 33-yard line. It was Guthrie kicking off. Tucker with the return of 33 to the 33. And let's set up the San Francisco offense. And here we go. John Brody out of Stanford, your quarterback. His season rating is 102.8, which is leading the ALTNFL in 1970. Ken Willard and Doug Cunningham are your running backs, so we'll use the I and put Cunningham at the fullback position. Gene Washington, we were talking about the Gene Washington on Friday night, who plays for the Vikings. And this is the Gene Washington of Stanford, who's done quite well. 26 catches for 586. Dick Whitger out of UCLA is your other wideout. Bob Windsor is the tight end. He's out of Kentucky. And your offensive line, Banachek, Peoples, Forrest Blue, Randy Belcher, and Len Rhodey, we'll call him, or Rode. So, let's see here. I'm going to put San Francisco in the eye. We'll do the defense for Buffalo here in a minute. Ken Willard, we're going to give him the ball. He will gain 2 on a Buffalo defense that's rated B-. San Francisco's a C with the run and a B with the pass, but let's show you the Buffalo D, which is here. Al Cowlings, a name etched in history. Jim Dunaway, Waddy Harvey, and Ron McDole, your front four. Stratton, Chandler, and Guidry, your linebackers. James, Richardson, Pitts, and Butch Bird are your defensive backfield. And on 2nd and 8, Whitaker got tired in an awful hurry. We're going to go to Cunningham here. It was kind of a whoopsie. A fumble, and that is going to be recovered by San Francisco by Whitaker. And all told, that play gained 4 yards. We're going to put John Brody to work here. We're going to have him look to Windsor on a short hitch.
False start. Offense, number 85, 5-yard penalty.
Riley called for a false start. That's going to make it 3rd and 9. We're going to go to Washington. Gene Washington of San Francisco. And there's the throw, and there's a nice catch by Washington. 5 catches, 96 yards. We have somebody who may or may not be out of the game. We do not know who. Cunningham, outside run, 1st and 10 from the 45. There's the pitch, and there is a run of 4 yards. Ella, come on. Ella is scratching the door. I have been filming this from Leesburg on the 15th of May. You're seeing this on no earlier than the 19th of May. Trap to the left. Willard on 2nd and 6 from the 49. He gets it. 59 nearly got him for Buffalo. That is Guidry. But Willard will gain a yard. 3rd and 5 from midfield. We'll stay in the double tight end package. Go to Windsor here. Gain of 13 there as Brody threw it to Windsor. And Brody was very accurate against Oakland in their last game, 20 of 25, 260 yards. 1st and 10 at the 37, outside run Willard. Looked like the safety was playing up for Buffalo, number 20. That is Robert James. That's a gain of 2 before Al Cowlings, AC, gets to him. And it's 2nd and 8. Pitch to the left, and we'll go Cunningham's way here. McDowell on the tackle after a gain of 5. 3rd down and 3. 3 wide. San Francisco in, I wouldn't say optimal field goal position, but they are at a point where it would be a better than a 50-50 chance. We're going to go medium fly route to Riley here. Buffalo is blitzing, so let's just do a screen instead to Willard. Usually a screen can beat a blitz. It did that time, or it did enough. Gain of 5 yards. Chandler on the stop. And it's a 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for San Francisco. Hopefully you didn't leave your heart there as I do an OBS check. Pitch to the right, Willard will stay in the triple wide formation, trying to confuse Buffalo. And that's a loss of 3. Guidry on the stop. It's going to be 2nd and 13 as one of the fans is just absolutely beside himself. How about Victor on a medium hitch? Brody getting a lot of time
Pass
to make his throws.
Defense, number 20, automatic, 1st down.
And James gets flagged for pass interference. 1st and 10 at the 11. Okay. No score, 8:04 left. I was just looking at my phone. Guess we all do that these days. Cunningham. A trap to the right and a gain of a yard. McCaffrey pulling down Cunningham, who now has 4 carries of 14 yards. We're going to go to Tucker here, Bill Tucker, who comes in favor of Willard, number 45. He's past the 10, down to the 1, and that was good enough for a 1st down. They could have gotten the 1st down and not scored, and that's exactly what they did. Willard's going to come back in and be the 3rd running back, and will go his way. Might be having fatigue issues. He's in there. Touchdown, 49ers. Here's your point after try by Gossett, and he got it. 7-0 49ers, 6:29 now left, opening quarter. Jones, Alexander, and Moss back deep. the Bills with 2 ties in 6 games. They tied Washington, and they tied the New York Jets. So it's good as a 3-3 record in our books. Alexander, a 26-yard return to the 27. Snydecki with the tackle. And let's finally give you the offense of the Buffalo Bills. Dennis Shaw, your quarterback out of San Diego State. Bill Enyard and Wayne Patrick are your running backs in favor of O.J. Simpson. Marlon Briscoe, Haven Moses are your wideouts. Denny is the tight end. Sorry, folks. Caught a cough there. Costa, O'Donnell, Marchalewski, Cheek, and Laster, your offensive linemen. Let's see what Buffalo can do. Shaw has been able to be a bit prolific throwing the ball. And that is Enyard with a 1-yard gain. Let's show you the 49er defense and be done with the lineups. Hardman, Kruger, Edwards, and Belk, your front 4. Vanderbunt, Nunley, Wilcox, your linebackers. Bruce Taylor, Rosie Taylor, Mel Phillips, and Jimmy Johnson. Not that Jimmy Johnson, but the Johnson who was a great defensive back for the 49ers for many years. He's out of UCLA. And that wraps up the starting lineups. Haven Moses on the short slant. Blitz coming. We're going to try to beat it. And Moses just gets there a little too late. And that's going to set up 3rd and 9. Buffalo a C- and a C running and passing. San Francisco with a B off defense, B- against the run and the pass, C against the sack. Alexander, Glenn Alexander coming in. We're going to throw him the short hitch on 3rd and 9. And San Francisco snuffed it out. Bruce Taylor, his first interception of the year, and the 49ers are again in great shape. At the 35 of Buffalo, off tackle. Let's just throw him off here. Play action to Washington.
Offsides. Defense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty.
So you heard from our official. Harvey called for offsides. It's going to be 1st and 5. This is our first game that's not a divisional game. Cunningham on the stretch play on 1st and 5. He's going to chug
Personal
up.
foul. Defense. Number 82, automatic, 1st down.
There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to leave that alone. Personal foul on Cowlings, and it's 1st and 10 at the 13 for San Francisco. How about Teddy Kwalik here? Give it to him on a slant. And Kwalik had it in his hands. It got knocked loose by Richardson. That's going to set up a 2nd and 10. Remember, there is a light rain, and San Francisco's got the wind advantage for this quarter and the 4th. Cunningham to the outside on 2nd and 10. That's a 3-yard gain. Cowlings on the stop, and it's going to be 3rd and 7. We're just going to stay in this. We're going to roll out Brody. Throw a short pass, and we're going to actually go to Cunningham because he's got it's got the lowest chance of an interception, but he throws over his head, and it's incomplete. And with 4:02 left in the opening quarter, Bruce Gossett from 17 yards. No good! My goodness. Steve Spurrier was the holder there, and you kind of wonder if the hold in this rain was not all that effective. So Buffalo lucking out. They're going to have it 1st and 10 at their own 20. But they have no OJ in the game. We're going to go Wayne Patrick track to the left. It's going to be a punch and Judy running game for the Bills. Gain of 6 before Belk gets to Patrick, and it's going to be 2nd and 4. Man in motion, and there's 2 wide receiver set, and we're going to look for Haven Moses again, who was very effective for the Denver Broncos the year they went to the Super Bowl in 77-78. And there's Derek Shaw. Dennis Shaw, and that's a 21-yard gain before Taylor could make the tackle. And Shaw right now the most effective rusher for Buffalo with that 21-yard carry, his first. Back to Enyard on the quick pitch. He will gain 4 yards before Kruger gets to him, and it'll be 2nd and 6. That's his second carry. He has 5 yards. Pitch to the right to Pate. That's what I feed Ella the cat sometimes. Sometimes she gets regular wet food, and sometimes I give her Pate. Pate swept and got 8 yards. Vanderbilt brought him down, and it's going to be 1st and 10. Bills at the 41. Yes, I know it's pate. I was just making a joke. It's one of my jokes I do to amuse myself. 36 with it. That is Jones. Last year with a good block. Taylor brought him down, and with 53 seconds left, Buffalo running the ball very efficiently all of a sudden. 6 carries, 47 yards, and a 7.8 clip. So it's going to be running back by committee with O.J. Simpson out. Trap to the left to Jones. He will get the first down,
offense,
but it's going to come back.
Number 73, 15-yard penalty.
And if you're new to the 1970 NFL season and this ALTNFL series I'm going to be doing, and if this isn't your favorite season, hang around. We'll probably get to your favorite season. Holding penalties are a real pain. They're a 15-yard penalty. So you get a couple of those, you're really going to need a cab ride to get a first down. 7 seconds left. We're going to run it. And we will go to Jones. He gets the handoff, the pitch actually. And that was for no gain. That ends the first quarter, 7-0. San Francisco leading. We're going to go to Marlon Briscoe here. 3rd and 18. Medium out route. And Shaw with plenty of time. Briscoe had it in his fingers. Got hammered by Johnston. Couldn't hang on to it. Phillips injured for the 49ers. So I think that's Fuller coming in. A 3 safety. Well, that was Taylor. Johnny Fuller out of Lamar. 4th and 18. They're going to send Guthrie in to try a 56-yarder. No good, but the way the game works, San Francisco does not get a return man. It's kind of like the CFL. You can return the ball, but unless you get it past the 20, it really isn't effective to do so. This was back in an era where the goalposts were on the goal line, and there was guys like R.C. Owens who played back in the 50 who could goaltend and swat the ball away, but they eventually outlawed that. Cunningham will get the carry on 1st and 10. Just starting this second quarter, he gains 5 before McCaffrey gets to him. And if I'm the 49ers, I just keep running inside. Back to Cunningham on 2nd and 5. That's a 2-yard play. Beisler, 65, is out of the game. At least for now, undisclosed injury. So Hoskins, let's give him credit, out of Wichita State, which at one point did have a college football program, but they don't have one now, despite the fictional Ted Lasso, that I've been watching as of late. Great series. How about Windsor at the tight end on 3rd and 3? Yes! That's a gain of 9. Richardson on the tackle for the Buffalo Bills. Hope everybody who went to the Digital to Dice convention got back safely. As I record this, it is yet to begin, but by the time you get this, it will have been over with. Hope to go to it next year. That's a gain of 5 yards. Guidry on the stop, and it's going to be 2nd and 5. Tucker, a man in his dreams. Old 80s movie. And that's a gain of 8. So San Francisco matriculating the ball down the field. Their sixth play coming up. 15 carries as a team for 52 yards. Cunningham has had 9 of them. They're going to use Tucker here, 45.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So a first and 10 at the 46. Sweep to the left with John Brody this time. We're going to call his number. There he goes. And that's a gain of 2. McDowell on the stop for the Bills. And it's 2nd and 8. Quick pitch to Cunningham. Blitz coming. Let's go to Tucker on a screen then. Tucker fumbles, and it's going to go Buffalo's way, it appears. And yes, Chandler with the fumble recovery returned it 11 yards. And Buffalo has a first and 10 at their own 47 with 10:30 now left to go. Jones to the outside. He will chug up and get 2. Hardman on the stop. 10:23 left in your opening half of this contest. And it's 7-0 49ers. If you missed it, Baltimore and Miami lost last week in week 6, so we have a couple of less undefeated teams. St. Louis remains undefeated, and I think Cincinnati is still undefeated. And we'll have summaries of their games at the end of this episode. Back to Jones, on a sweep. He's getting blocking. And he's going to move past midfield to the 46 before Fuller got to the tackle. And why don't you try to exploit Mr. Fuller? There he is. He's not lined up against anybody. Let's go Denny's way on a short hitch. Austin Denny on 3rd and 3. There's the catch for 10 yards. Fuller on the stop. And it's 1st and 10 at the 36. In fact, let's go to him again. Another short hitch. Play action. No, we put a man in motion. It wasn't play action. Shaw.
Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 86. 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
Automatic.
Hardman had a beat on Shaw. He threw it. It was intercepted by Wilcox, but that's going to get negated by a roughing the passer. Hardman protesting voraciously to the officiating crew, but the call's going to stand. Trapped to the right with Jones on 1st and 10 for the 21. And he's going to be past the 20, past the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Vanderbund with the tackle. And the Bills just 8 yards away from potentially tying the score. Pitch left, Jones. He gets the handoff. Actually, it's a pitch, and he goes in. Touchdown, Bills. Here is your extra point by Guthrie, which he gets, and we have a 7-7 tie. And appropriately, we have 7:14 left to go till halftime. Tucker Thomas Taylor, ball back deep. And here's Tucker at about the 6. Chugging up the field, past the 20. Past the 30, all the way out to the 36. Another nice return for Tucker. And San Francisco starts from there. Pitch right, Cunningham, 1st and 10. Gets the pitch, and it's going to be a gain of 4. Harvey on the stop. Setting up 2nd and 6. I will probably turn off the echo here at halftime. It's starting to bug me a little bit. We always got to try to experiment, I guess, a little bit. We're going to run left with Willard coming back in the game to get a few reps on 2nd and 6, and Willard's going to be close to a first. A gain of 5. And on 3rd and 1, we just might as well just have Brody keep it. Dive over. And he's going to get the first, indeed, a gain of 3. So the game playing much smoother. The patch was released on May 13th, and this is the first game I have played with the patch. And here's Cunningham. They also patched Action PC Baseball. Nobody better at using that apparatus than Ron Juckett. Gain of 3 for Cunningham. McBath on the stop. It's going to be 2nd and 7. Dive play Tucker. He gains 2 yards. Harvey on the stop. 22 carries, 71 yards for the 49ers. Cunningham 11 of 39, Tucker 3 of 19, Willard 6 of 8, but he has the lone touchdown right now for Frisco. Cunningham getting work. Off tackle left, and that's a gain of 3. It's going to set up a 4th and 2 with 3:20 to go. It will bring Gossett on to try a 51-yarder, and he got it. And San Francisco up 10-7. See what Buffalo could do. They're going to down it and take the ball to 20. I think we're going to let Shaw throw the ball a little bit here. Moses, the intended receiver. He's 25. Oh, they went to Denny, and Denny could not hang on to the ball. With the light rain, it probably felt like a wet cake of soap. And it's going to be 2nd and 10. In fact, we'll go to Denny as the intended receiver this time. Short hitch. Denny has an 11-yard play, 11-yard gain. Nunley has gone down. Undisclosed injury. Beard, I think, is coming in for him. And he is number 50 out of Tennessee. Okay. Let's go back to Denny on the slant. Try to take advantage of the injury. It's caught, and that's a 1st down and a gain of 10. So Shaw, 3 of 7 for 31 yards with that one pick. We'll go to the 2-minute warning. And it's 10-7 in favor of Buffalo. Let me just do something real fast here. Go into auto properties and just get rid. Just turn monitor off. Each way. There we go. That works. Sorry, folks. Just a little maintenance, I guess you could call it. About Willie Great on a short hitch. 1st and 10 at the 41. Shaw looking. Intercepted by Taylor. Rosie Taylor. His 3rd pick of the year. And San Francisco's in business, and that's 2 picks for Dennis Shaw. 1st and 10 at the 37. Screen pass to Willard on 1st and 10.
Encroachment, defense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Harvey called for encroachment. 1st and 5. A lot of good options here for Brody. Will try the short hitch. He's got it, and Windsor, gain of 11. Richardson on the stop. We'll hurry to the line. No need to call a timeout yet. Medium out to Washington on 1st and 10 from the 21. Brody seemed to be hit as he threw the ball.
Roughing the passer, defense. Number 59, automatic, 1st down.
And a lot happened here. Brody threw to Tucker. The pass was completed despite the fact Guidry got to him, and he got called for roughing the passer. McCaffrey stripped the ball out for Buffalo. It was pounced on by Gene Washington, and Action PC Football does not have the rule in it that the fumbler has to recover the fumble, and it wouldn't apply in the instance of this being 1970. So that was a lot to digest. 1st and goal from the 7, double tight ends. We're going to roll Brody out, and we're going to look to Teddy Kwolek here on the short hitch. Incomplete.
Pass interference, defense. Number 47, automatic, 1st down.
That's going to put the 49ers at the 1, and you wonder if they're scoring too soon, giving the Bills a chance at it. And we're going to go Cunningham up the middle. And he will score. Touchdown, San Francisco. Gossett in for the point after, which he gets at 17-7 with 1:16 left. Jones, Alexander, and Moss back deep. We're going to tempt fate here, and we're going to have Jones try to return this a yard in his end zone. Get out to the 20 at least, and he's not going to get there. Bad decision on my part. Beard on the tackle. 12-yard return is going to set up Buffalo at the 11 with the returner being 1 yard out, which was Jones. Now, if you're three wide, we're going to actually try to do something here. Moses medium fly on 1st and 10 from the 11. Shaw rolling to his right and looking for Denny. And again, Denny could not hang on to another Dennis Shaw throw. He's got 2 drops today. Remember, it is raining, so that might be factoring into this. Hitch to Moses on 2nd and 10. That's well over Moses' head. 3rd and 10. Medium out to Alexander. We'll try that. And a sack by Edwards. They will call timeout. They have 2 left. So now Buffalo is going to send Paul McGuire out. This is, I think, the first time today he has punted. And he's not going to have a lot of room to work with. Be careful with the snap. He's wearing 55. And San Francisco is going to have primo field position here after the return by Allen sets them up at the 41 of San Francisco. 17-7, and the 49ers looking for more. We're going to go Windsor on the short out, I think. Might be a medium hitch. No, he's got it. And Windsor now, that is catch number 4 for him for 44 yards. He got out of bounds, stopping the clock with 43 seconds. How about a slant route to Washington on 1st and 10? Good pass rush. But Washington makes the catch. Sashays his way into the end zone for another 49er touchdown. They only needed 11 seconds. Gossett kicking the extra point through. And it's 24-7. We now have 36 seconds left. And I think Buffalo's just going to want to get out of Dodge at this point. And Moss, a 12-yard return to the 25. Buffalo is just going to try to run the clock out. We'll give it to Jones. Unless they do something extraordinary here. They just want to get into the locker room and talk about it. 24 seconds. San Francisco is not going to call timeout. Buffalo dumbfounded, and we will go to the half with your score. San Francisco 24 and Buffalo 7, and we will be back almost immediately. And friends, a reminder to join us if you are watching this prior to 7 o'clock on May 20th for the Pebble Beach Open. This is a ranked monthly event for the OGT for February, and we will have 3rd and 4th round coverage Tuesday night and Thursday night. The release time of that videos will be 7 p.m. Eastern time, or 4 p.m. out on the West Coast. And you can see it anytime you want because, of course, it's YouTube and it's on demand. So there you go. Getting ready to go with our second half. Buffalo gets the ball. They're down 24-7. Not that, well, San Francisco is pretty much dominant, almost 2-1 on total yards, 180-98. Shaw, 3 of 10, 31 yards, 2 picks. Brody, 9 of 11, 105 yards, and 1 touchdown. San Francisco nearly 2-1 on possession time, 1927 to 1033. 5 of 7 on the 3rd downs. And we've had 3 fumbles, all by San Francisco, but we've only had 1 turnover for the 49ers, and Buffalo, with the 2 Shaw picks, has had 2. And seeing if there's any, and Buffalo is really killing themselves on the penalties. 8 carries for 8 times infractions for 74 yards. Let's see if 36 Jones can change things. He's 4 yards deep, so he'll just take a knee if he caught the ball or anything like that. Inside run to Pate. This would normally be O.J. Simpson's job, but as we were telling you at the start of the episode, O.J. has an injured back and is going to be out 2 weeks for the Bills. A gain of 4 for Pate. Phillips on the stop. It's going to be 2nd and 6. So if anything big happened in the sports world this weekend, I don't know about it yet because I'm recording this the Thursday prior. Jones on the pitch on 2nd and 6. And he's going to gain 9 yards. Slipped by one tackler before Vanderbunt got to him. And the only thing Buffalo's been doing right is running the ball. 14 carries for 88 for 6.3. San Francisco 24-75, 3.1. Double tight formation. And a sweep to the left with Jones. Jones with a gain of 3 before Dudley made the tackle. He's got 9 carries, 47 yards. Shaw had that scramble in the first half for 21. In fact, we're going to try him again. A sweep to the left. Dennis Shaw. Oh, but he just could not turn the corner. Kruger gave him a nightmare, and that's a loss of 3 yards for the Bills. It's going to be 3rd and 10. Go Marlon Briscoe, who was a quarterback when he played in for the Denver Broncos in the AFL. Medium hitch to him by Shaw on 3rd and 10. No, it's a dump off, but it's a 41 Enyard, and that's only a gain of 3. So out comes Paul McGuire to punt it away to Taylor. Punt is not too bad. Taylor with a good return of 14 yards. The punt went 40, so make the net 26. And San Francisco has it at the 38 with a 24-7 lead. A stretch to Tucker with the ball at the 38. And he's going to gain 9 yards before Pitts makes the tackle. Setting up a 2nd and 1 and giving John Brody a multitude of options. So we're going to go to Gene Washington deep here. He's already got 1 touchdown pass of considerable yardage. That was nearly picked off.
Number 65, 15-yard penalty.
And Beasler was called for holding, so 2nd and 1 is now going to be 2nd and 16. Cunningham outside on the 2nd and 16 from the 32. He's turning the corner. He's gaining 3, and McBath makes the tackle. Short pass ain't going to do it. Medium fly to Victor. 3rd and 13. Brody getting a lot of time for these throws.
Holding defense. Number 20, 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And Buffalo just gave him a gift. Instead of getting the offense off the field, it's a holding penalty on the defense. San Francisco now keeps the ball, and Buffalo is blitzing, so let's go to Tucker on the screen. 1st and 10. And now a 2nd and 10 as that was incomplete. Outside run. And that's a gain of 3 yards before McBath makes the tackle. 3rd and 7. To Washington on the short hitch. With the injuries to the Buffalo defense, they're now a C, but they're a D plus when it comes to the pass rush. Spurrier, I think this is the first time we have used him to punt. He's going to go ahead and punt the ball. Line of scrimmage was the 43. And Farr, with the return of 9 yards, punt went 37, so the net will be 28. And Buffalo has a 1st and 10, still trailing by 17 at their own 29. Pate on the inside run. 1 yard loss. Hardman with the tackle for the 49ers, who are looking to go 5-2 on the year. We could be seeing them again in the playoffs. Quite possible. In real life, they made the NFC Championship before losing at home to Dallas. What was the last game at Kezar Stadium? That's a gain of 6. Shaw got a pitch to Jones. Costa with a block. Belk on the tackle, and it's 3rd and 5 now. And again, we're going to look to Haven Moses on the short slant. It's there. Moses just getting by Taylor. Taylor immediately collaring him down, and it's a 1st and 10 for Buffalo at their own 47. Jones to the left. There's the pitch. There's the run, 2 yards. Nunley on the stop. We have 5:47 left, so Buffalo's got to get a move on. They're down 3 scores, and they have the wind. They should be putting it up more. Briscoe, the intended receiver here. Oh, but that got swatted at the line. Actually, it was a dump off to Jones, and Jones just couldn't hang on to it. 3rd and 8. We're going to look to Briscoe here. Medium fly route.
Encroachment, defense. Number 74, 5-yard penalty.
Buffalo will take the penalty, and instead of forfeiting a yard, it's going to be 3rd and 3 at the 46. Now, if they had OJ, they'd probably use him here. But we're going to have Dennis Shaw keep, run to the inside.
Encroachment, defense.
They got a first down.
Number 72, 5-yard penalty.
So again, instead of a 4th and 1, this time it's a first down on that penalty. 1st and 10 at the 41. Off tackle left paint on this first down play, and a gain of 3. Belk on the stop. Paid on the carry on 2nd down. Gain of a yard. Delayed blitz by Wilcox and Vanderbunt. And Buffalo's going to go to the air here. Might go for it on 4th if we don't get it. That's a caught pass by Alexander. A gain of 10. Phillips on the stop. Ball is at the 27 now of San Francisco. Moses on the hitch. Throw downfield is caught by Moses. A gain of 17, and now it's a 1st and goal at the 10. Screen to the tight end, great. See if he will be great. He caught it, but he couldn't hang on to it. So there you go. 2nd and 10. Outside run. Try Dennis Shaw here to the near side. No, actually he went the other way, but it's going to be no gain as Edwards was immediately there and saying, "You shall not pass." Well, they might pass here on 3rd down. We'll look to Denny. Short hitch. I think we would kick on 3rd. If we don't get it, we don't get it. They bring in Guthrie for 17 yards. It's good, and it's 24-10. Very late in the 3rd quarter, 54 seconds left. Tucker, Thomas, Taylor back deep for the 49ers as they have been all game. It's going to be Tucker at about the 4. Past the 20. So he earned his pay for that return. Allen on the stop at the 23. 45 seconds now left in the 3rd quarter. 49ers leading 24-10. Buffalo needs to get some momentum going their way. This is Cunningham. A 6-yard gain. That'll do it for the 3rd quarter. It's 24-10 49ers. I don't know what game we will be doing Wednesday night for Week 8 in the ALTNFL 1970 season. So stay tuned to our summaries of the other games of Week 7, and we'll have that information for you after that. Short out Bob Windsor on 2nd and 4. Windsor's been catching a lot of passes. And that was another one for Winsler, his 5th of the game for 52 yards. Pitts on the knockout of bounds, and it's a gain of 8. Washington on a medium slant. Try to confuse him here on first down. That's number 18. Bird broke that up. It's an incomplete pass. We'll run to the outside with Tucker on 2nd and 10 from the 37. And that's a gain of 5. That puts San Francisco as a team over the 100-yard mark, 29 for 101. Buffalo has slowed down with their running game, 22 of 99. 3rd and 5. Okay, I was thinking about doing a quarterback draw here, and it'll kind of look iffy. We'll do the short crossing route to Richter. And that was a pass that Richter could not hold on to, and it's 4th and 5. So bring out Steve Spurrier again to punt with 14:03 left, and Buffalo's going to do a fair catch here. As it should land inside the 15, and it lands at the 13. Allen with the fair catch. So San Francisco's going to start throwing. They trail by 14. Medium hitch to Alexander. Shaw. Oh, and another pick. That's the 3rd pick of the day for Dennis Shaw. Nunley with the interception. His first of the year. And he is out of Michigan. Hail to the victors there. We'll go Cunningham on an outside run with the score 24-10. And he gained 5 yards. Slow it down. Roll out and a pitch to the right with Cunningham. 2nd and 5. Buffalo not playing tight, and they pay for it. Cunningham passed the 10 to the 8 before Butch Bird could get to him. And it's 1st and goal from the 8. Tucker on a dive. And he's in there. Touchdown, 49ers, and that probably puts the game away. Gossett with the point after. He gets it. It's 31-10. 11:52 left to go. And here's Jones on the return, and he gains 10 yards from the 12 to the 22. Now, we put James Harris. Well, James Harris doesn't have the best passing rating, so we're just going to leave Shaw in and have him throw to Moses here on first down. And now he's thrown back-to-back picks. And Skip Vanderbunt with his first pick of the year. 49ers are going to go full house. Cunningham with the ball to Buffalo 27. That's
personal foul. Defense. Number 76, automatic. First down.
And you can see the frustration flowing from the Bills as McBath gets called for a personal foul. And that's going to put the 49ers at the 13 of Buffalo with 11:26 left. That's 4 turnovers now for Buffalo, and they were all interceptions by Dennis Shaw. That's Kenny Willard with a gain of 2. He has 7 carries on the day for 10 touchdowns. We have 3 different rushers with a touchdown. Cunningham, Tucker, Willard, and Gene Washington also with a pass receiving touchdown. Back to Willard on 2nd and 8 from the 11.
Holding, offense, number 79, 15-yard penalty.
And that's a drive killer for San Francisco, who now has a 2nd and 23. And I don't think they're going to throw here. We're just going to keep going to the outside and hope for the best. Here's Cunningham. He hits a little extra burst of speed there before Richardson could bring him down for the Bills. A gain of 7. Willard, 3rd and 16. They're just going to run. Just take the 3 points and go. Dunaway making the stop. Jim Dunaway out of Ole Miss. I don't think he's any relation to Fay. Field goal for Gossett. From 23 yards, it's good, and it's 34-10 now with 8:56 in. I'm probably going to bring Harris in for the Bills. There's no point in having Shaw just throw interception after interception here. 45 with a nice return for Buffalo past only got stopped before the 35 to the 34. Return of 21 yards. So in goes James Harris, who many will remember playing with the LA Rams and started many games for them in the 76 season. We're going to go Pate to the outside. I think Buffalo just wants to get out of here. Gain of 3. Vanderbunt on the stop. 3 wide. We'll look to Briscoe on a slant route. Remember, they're going into the wind here, and that was not hung on by Briscoe. That's his second drop of the day. 3rd and 7. I'll let the computer decide what to do here. As I have some green tea. Harris was throwing to Moses, but they were not on the same page there. McGuire in the punt. And San Francisco up 34-10. McGuire's punt went out of bounds, 34 yards, no return. We're going to take Brody out, and we're going to put Steve Spurrier in for the remainder of the game. His pass rating 155-2, but he only threw the ball 4 times, and we're not probably going to let him throw it all. Willard on the inside. He gets a late spring in his step before Harvey brings him down. 7:33 left. So our premise here, if you're new to the series of episodes, is we have the 26 NFL teams, instead of them being in 2 conferences and having Super Bowl mismatches, as was prevalent in the 70s with the AFC teams dominant, and again in the 80s and 90s when the NFC teams dominated. We're just going to have geographic divisions, 4 division winners, the 4 next best teams. They get in the playoff, and may the best team win. And that was Cunningham, a 1-yard loss, 3rd and 7. Quick pitch, Cunningham. Spurrier with the pitch, and that's going to be no gain. 6 minutes to go. Spurrier will stay in and punt. A fumble. And Snydecki with the tackle. McBath with the recovery for Buffalo, and they have the ball now, 1st and 10. 5:15 left to go. Slant to Alexander. And you can see San Francisco playing back a little bit. Harris. Oh, he nearly had Haven Moses there. Or was that, who was 45? That was Glenn Alexander, who's 45. That's an incompletion. And here is a 2nd and 10 play to Haven Moses. James Harris will throw, and it's a catch. Moses with a 17-yard gain at the 48. Medium out. Moses on 1st and 10. And did he hang
Pass
on
interference,
to it? Well,
defense.
it won't matter.
Number 44, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
It's now 1st and 10 from the 33. Short slant to Briscoe on 1st and 10 from the 33. That's an incompletion. Johnson on the coverage. 2nd and 10. How about a screen play here to Enyart? Screen is there, and he's going to chug up the field for 9 yards. 3:54 left. Wilcox on the stop. But Buffalo needs touchdowns. They do not need field goals. And we're going to go Alexander. 3rd and 1 from the 24. That's a 1st down. And Harris is 3 of 7 for 31 yards. Denny with the reception. Taylor with the stop. Quick throw this time to Moses. San Francisco still with their first teamers in. And Taylor with another interception. That looks like that was, I think that's 3 on the day for them. And San Francisco now with their 5th interception of the day. They got Dennis Shaw 4 times, and now they have gotten James Harris once. And Spurrier's going to stay in with 3:02 to go. We're going to run the counter to the outside and go to Cunningham again.
False start.
Nope.
Offense.
Not quite just
Number
yet.
11, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Spurrier with the false start, 1st and 15. We want to run inside, and we want to run with Cunningham. His 22nd carry of the day.
Holding. Offense. Number 69.
Peoples with the holding call. And it's 1st and 27 now from the 12. Triple option right to Cunningham.
False start. Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Now it's 1st and 32 from the 7. Full house. Off tackle right to Tucker. And he will get it to the 11 for 4 yards. 2nd and 28. And we're not throwing the ball. Willard, quick pitch. He's got it, and he loses 4. And that gets us to the 2-minute warning. It's 34-10. I think you could safely turn out the lights here. This party is over. Cunningham off tackle left. And he will gain 6 yards. The minute 50. And they will call timeout at a minute 11. If we were inside the 10, I would have Spurrier take a safety, but let's not do that. We'll have him punt it away. He's on the goal line. Watch out for that goal post on the goal line. His punt went 42. Spurrier just got it off. Randolph on the tackle. Far with a 1-yard return. 1st and 10 at the 43. James Harris staying in because they got nobody left for all intents and purposes here. Moses, medium hitch with a minute 6 to go. Buffalo has all 3 timeouts, but I just think they want to get on the bus. That was a throw to Denny, and that was an incompletion. Quick throw to Briscoe on 1st and 10. That's an incompletion and another drop for Briscoe. 3rd and 10. Medium pass to Moses. San Francisco still got their first teamers in with a 40-man roster. I would think that would be true. A 4-yard sack for Harris. And he's just going to chuck one up on 4th and 14 from the 39. Just throw it as far as you can, James. It's away.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 37. Automatic. First down.
Jimmy Johnson called for pass interference. That's going to move it to the 20. 16 seconds left to go. Briscoe on a medium pass. Harris rolls to his right, tries to throw, but he finds nothing but air. And with 12 seconds left to go, medium out, Moses. So San Francisco is going to go to 5-2. I was going to say San Diego, but of course they're not playing in this game. 7 seconds left, 3rd and 5. Medium hitch, Moses. Last play of the game, perhaps. And it's a touchdown to Moses. Yes, time ran out on that play. And Guthrie with the point after. And this one is over. The 49ers win. 34-17 will be our official final. And let's go through the stats real quick. Brody was the leading passer, 10 of 16 for 113. Shaw with 4 picks, and James Harris with 1. Your leading rusher was Cunningham, Doug Cunningham, 22 of 83. Leading catcher was Windsor of San Francisco, 5 of 52. And who were your leading defenders here in this game? Oh, Harvey with 8 for Buffalo. Phillips, let's see, Kruger and Edwards had sacks. And that's it. When we return, we will get to the games that were else up. Let me try that again. When we come back, we're going to do the games elsewhere in week number 7 of the ALTNFL. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Like right now. So after simming what else happened in the ALTNFL in week 7, I can tell you now we have one undefeated team left, the St. Louis Cardinals, and we still have 3 teams without a win, Boston, Atlanta, and New Orleans. Speaking of Boston, they're our first stop on the tour, 23-0. The Jets pounding the rock on Boston. They got all the scoring. Jim Turner with 3 field goals. Woodall, the quarterback, was the MVP, 13 of 22 for 223 yards. Ella, down. Thank you. Washington 20 to 14 over Philadelphia to keep pace with Baltimore. It was Jurgensen, the MVP in this game, 13 of 25, 152 yards. Got sacked once, but he threw a touchdown. And Washington has now taken the lead in the East by a half game over Baltimore, who lost again this week, and we'll get to that in a moment. Cleveland, a 42-17 winner over the hapless Steelers. They're hapless at this point in their existence. Nelson, your MVP, 14 to 24, 225. 4 TDs. So Cleveland walloping the Steelers, and the Bengals lose for the first time, and they lose at home, 23-13. MVP was Walker. I believe that is Wayne Walker. It is, and Walker must have had a very good defensive game. 3 tackles and a sack. See if he did anything scoring-wise. He's not the kicker at this point. It's Errol Mann. Lucci with a 15-yard fumble recovery, and all of a sudden the Lions are in the hunt in the Mideast. A half game behind Detroit and 1 game behind Cincinnati. So you could see them in the playoffs. Miami rolling 35-13 over Atlanta. The only loss they have had this year was to Cleveland. Zonka was the MVP in this one, 22 carries for 85, 2 catches for 10. So Miami keeps rolling. With their 35-13 win, they are a half game behind the Bengals in the Mideast Division. In the Midwest Division, Minnesota 38-10 over Chicago. Shirachman was the player of the game, defensive star. He's a corner, and he had 1 pick for 38 yards, 9 tackles. And he got the first score and an interception from 38 to get the game going for the Vikings. The Packers are shut out at home by the Kansas City Chiefs. We're very much alive in the Midwest Division. Robinson had the best game. Podolak threw a pass. How about that? And Robinson with 2 picks for 22 yards, 8 tackles. And you see the scoring summary there. If you didn't see it fast enough, just pause. I'll still be here. 24-0. The Chiefs, he said, are now 5-2. They're 2 behind the Cardinals. Is anybody going to catch the Cardinals? They beat New Orleans 33-14. MVP was Roger Worley, one of their star defensive backs at corner. And let's see the game he had. He had 2 picks for 38. for 6 tackles. And he did not have any touchdowns. Rowland with a punt return. Wilson with an interception return. And New Orleans got 2 late scores out of Billy Kilmer. So teams at opposite ends of the spectrum, the Cardinals 7-0 and the Saints 0-7. Dallas travels in-state to the Houston Astrodome and just barely beats Houston 20-17. Morton, the MVP. I'm not done with that. Give that back to me. Morton, 11-20, 154 yards. He threw for 1 touchdown. And it was a Mike Clark field goal with 7:06 left in the game. That was the decisive points in that. Dallas 5-2. They are now in a tie with San Francisco on top of the West Division. Los Angeles, Oakland, San Diego all won back. And speaking of Los Angeles, they won 37-17. Jack Snow, one of the wide receivers, had a day. 6 catches, 168 yards. And Los Angeles had 30 before halftime. Merlin Olsen had a safety. So very dominant performance out of the Los Angeles Rams. Denver tightened the gap a little bit in the second half, but LA rolling 37-17. Oakland 31-14 over San Diego. Of course, the John Madden movie coming out with Nicolas Cage playing John. And it was Daryl the Mad Bomber LaMonica with a good game, 14-20, 203, 3 touchdowns, a 142.3 rating. And Oakland got all of their points before halftime with a 31-14 win. You saw Buffalo in San Francisco winning 34-17. And on Monday Night Football from Yankee Stadium, it was New York with a 33-17 win. And it was Heck who had a heck of a game. And let's just tell you how Heck did. Heck, 4 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a sack. He's one of their outside linebackers. So that gets you up to date on week number 7. What are we going to do week 8? Let me see. Just looking at the games over, folks. Let's see, 4, 7, 7, 12. St. Louis and Washington I have had both times. That's a 12 game. Looking like that's what I will do unless there's another big... Yeah, we're going to do St. Louis and Washington week 8 in Washington. In the ALTNFL, that is an intra-divisional game because Washington's in the East and St. Louis is in the Midwest Division, but these are 2 good teams, and we've already had them on once. We've had St. Louis on twice, actually, but we'll go ahead and do that game as we get into the second half of the season. We'll try to give you the most competitive game out there, and sometimes you'll get a clunker like we got tonight with San Francisco walloping Buffalo, but... We're getting close. We're getting close to something here. So tune in on Wednesday night, the 21st, if you're seeing this on the 19th or the 20th, for St. Louis against Washington. This has been Big Paulie coming to you, wishing you well, as always. Godspeed, God bless, and we'll do it all again soon. And bye-bye for now, everybody.